Um, we talked a lot about how voice is very important in content creation. This is pretty obvious. Voice is pretty critical in making content. It makes our content relatable. It makes it real. It makes it engaging. It gives it personality. It gives it emotion. And if we can really emphasize that power in our work, we can really allow our work to be amplified that much more. And it really helps us in conveying messages, again, telling stories, and connecting our audience to our personalities. Because at the end of the day, that's really what we're here for. We really don't want to pretend on the internet. We really want to be ourselves as much as possible and be praised for that and be rewarded for that. Because what better life is that than to be yourself? We also talked a lot about common challenges and the solution to those common challenges. And a lot of those challenges stemmed from a lot of our self-consciousness when it comes to recording our voices. A lot of us feel like, we don't even want to listen to our voice back. And granted, I don't either, but, it's just a proven thing that, it happens to all of us. And if we can just normalize it in some way, shape, or form, we can feel as understood as we can be. But I think a lot of that stems from us not having too much understanding or control of which we record our voice. And we talked a lot about poor audio quality, right? We talked about inconsistent volume, and we talked a lot about monotone in the voice, and we talked about fast talking, which I can somewhat do sometimes. So if I'm talking a lot and very fast, you let me know, of course. So we also talked a lot about, equipment setup. We'll talk a little bit about equipment too today, get a little bit more in depth of what that looks like. And yes, Miss 902 and I'm definitely one of those people who does not enjoy listening to themselves. Absolutely. I feel you. And you're not alone. Exactly like I said, there's so many people who feel the same way. And so, again, we're talking about a lot of those setups. We're talking about techniques. We were talking about different Adobe Express features. I think we had a challenge that we were doing that was really fun where people were doing animate from audio. We will be testing animate from audio again today just to reiterate how fun that is. And then we'll dive a little bit more into the different tools that are out there for Adobe Express. And maybe I might pop into Audition. Don't tell anyone. Audition is our audio app. I just want to show you how it's not that hard to dabble in real quick. And then, we also, what else did we talk about? The importance of good audio quality. We talked about a lot about that because it's important. I mean, these days, quality of recording of the actual video isn't as important as the audio. And you know what's interesting? I've been seeing these funny videos go viral lately where people will like mess up the audio so bad that people will share it to be like, "Oh, this is really bad audio. Like it sounds like there's a lot of wind or something in the mic." And so it's almost like you're playing with how audio really does affect how people interpret content. And the audio can be really, really good or it can be really, really bad, and that in turn will gain some kind of attention. But we also talked about, microphones, headphones, setup. But today, I think we're going to talk a lot about the same kind of things, but going a little bit deeper into how and why to get those to feel better. Um, and I think we're also gonna talk a little bit about how to, yeah, just just dive in. That's my biggest thing. I think we're just gonna dive in today. What do you think? Because that's the only way you're gonna learn. Don't wait for that perfect moment, okay? This is what I hope that you're gonna get from any of this. And I hope you find inspiration and motivation in the idea that, again, there's no perfect moment, there's no perfect tool, there's no perfect tech. It's really just about mastering the idea of knowing what you need to get what you need done. So let's think about what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to improve your audio quality. Um, we're going to dive into some advanced tips, how to get that crystal clear audio. And if you're not sure, We're going to talk about that, what different microphones are useful, what they do, how they're useful. Um, and then we're going to overcome some recording challenges. What are some nuances that people face, especially creators like ourselves? What are some solutions for background noise? What are some things that people use? I've not been one to not record in a closet. I don't know about you. Echoes, how to stop echoes and things like that. And then we're going to talk about a hands-on practice, a challenge that I want to leave you with. I want to see your work. I want to hear your voice because the last one was really fun. It was really fun to hear like what people sound like. Is that when you hear a voice from a person, it like really explains a different part of them. So I really want to encourage you to stay motivated. I really want you to see the potential in your voiceover work and your audio recording skills because I think at the end of the day, it's really going to push your engagement to a different level. It's going to change the way that people see you and connect with you and personalize you. Like your voice will make people care about you more and present different opportunities to you. And that really is the maximum benefit of what we're really trying to accomplish here today is so that you can have more confidence to have more confidence, right? Okay. I love this name, Cookie. I love it, Cookie. What's up, Kiki? Um, I thought my voice was good, but I can be on rate. Yes. Yes. Oh, you sound sleepy. Well, we are going to put that to rest. Badooch. Because we are going to find out today how you can feel confident about how you sound. Because other people, you know what? Something I learned from an acting class, and we'll get into this a little bit. Oh yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this. This is what we're talking about. See, I haven't even been running through my slides. This is what happens when we go do too much. Okay, so um what we're going to be talking about a lot today is the idea that and this is what I got from this acting class, and I'll bring it all together and we'll get into the thick of it in a second. But what I learned from the acting class is that every person and at least every actor has to understand that the character they play is a different character to every single person they meet and they talk to. And when we think about our own lives, we have to understand that each person sees us in a different light. We talk to them in a different way. That like there are so many variables in that essence that there's so many nuances to which someone would understand how your voice sounds or how what you're presenting them or whatever. So the greatest thing that you can do is accept how you sound and telling people that's how you sound. And the more confident you are in that and presenting that, that's how people will understand you. So tell them how to think about you. Okay. Anyway, when I have a question real quick. When I click out of here, does it stop running my stream? It says we pause this preview to save your resources. Stream is still, oh no, never mind. It says stream is still running. Okay. All right. So let's get into some tips of improving audio. Okay. Um, and these are just a few of my favorite tools that I use. And I have all of them. I also have a few others that I actually want to show you. I didn't even put that one on there. Where I might just add it on here actually. But the reason why I didn't add it on here because I didn't want to be too advertising. I didn't want to be like, oh, buy this one because I'm not here to sell you tech, okay? I don't want to be a salesperson. I'm really here to tell you which ones to look for and what to really think about when you want to create your content. So I really just want to start with like a brief overview of some of the most important things that I think are um, super crucial to understanding how to record your voice and how those things differentiate what you're trying to tell. Now, a condenser microphone is the first one, okay? It's got a pop filter on it. And a condenser really is to capture more detail. It's the one you see most likely with podcasts. Right now, I'm using one to talk to you because I feel like it's just a little bit more controlled and it's a little bit more in a studio environment. Um, and it really is a little bit more sensitive to sound depending on the certain settings that you utilize. and it really allows you to capture different ranges of frequency, which helps with voice work and things like that. So in the future of this talk, once we wrap up a little bit, I'll just show you really quickly what I'm talking about in range of the frequencies and why the pop filter matters, and a little trick on how to not necessarily need the pop filter anymore. Now, a second one that we have is the dynamic with USB. The dynamic USB is really easy for using on your computer. It's really easy to use for different devices that are mobile or otherwise, because they are usually aux or kind of complicated systems, and the USB really allows you to plug and play. Sometimes the aux is complicated to the point where you have to like connect different audio settings and things like that. So if you really want to get into a dynamic kind of situation where you want to move around, the dynamic microphone with the USB would be really useful, because it's going to highlight different like ways in which you're moving around. So if you want to do content where you're outside, for example, you'll see a lot of those. Like I have friends who do like the ones where they're like, how much is your apartment type stuff, like those types of things. You'll probably want to have a dynamic mic for, and maybe even looking even deeper if you really want to connect it with an actual aux, which is a different type of plugin that would probably complicate the situation if you're not too used to it. But I would start off with a USB, and that is a little less sensitive to background noise, since it is useful for being dynamic and moving around. And then the last but not least one is a lavalier clip. Now, there's ones that are corded, which makes it less which makes it hard, or less able for the actual audio to be disrupted. But then again, there are a ton of ones that are without the actual cord, that are cordless these days, that I really really enjoy. That are by Rode, Rode. Don't tell anyone I told you that. They are really great mics, and I love using them because they are cordless. And granted, they may not be lossless, or no, the other one. But I'm trying to remember which. See, yeah, this is why I did not go to audio recording school, but I am in content school, so here we are. But I will say that there's a difference. There's a big difference between your content or your audio that is recorded with a actual cord, and one that is recorded without a cord, okay? Because there's a difference in the condensedness of your voice. Now, one without a cord is going to be condensed in a way, and the one with a cord is not going to be, allowing your voice to give you much more range to be used and edited and adjusted and much more clear. So just thinking about those things, I think, are really important. And then, you know, keeping the mic at a proper range is really, really important. I recommend keeping your microphone at least 6 to 12 inches from your face. But when you, and that's for a condenser, okay? If you are with a dynamic mic, you need to be close. You need to be really close. And I know that makes people uncomfortable, but I've seen it on panels. I've seen it in public. I've seen it in many different cases where people are too afraid to get close to the dynamic mic, and they sound like you can't hear what they're saying. There's just no tone there. There's no emotion. And the issue is that that's because the dynamic will pick up a lot of different range, and it's less sensitive to that background noise than the condenser. So you really have to make sure that you're like pressing that condenser to your face. And that's why you always have to ask people, make sure you ask people, can you clean my mic before I'm using it, if you're on a panel or something, or if you're presenting. Because oh my, I have seen some mics, you guys, that are just terrifying. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm scared even saying it. But watch the mics, wash them, and make sure that you keep those dynamic ones close. Um, Now, the angle is really important too. Make sure that you are reducing the amount of those very poppy sounds. And then the pop filter again is going to help with those different like noises that are coming across that are like when you're saying P's and B's, they really pop into the mic in a different way, and we call those plosives, and we'll dig into a little bit of that in a bit. But those plosives and those shocking moments kind of shock the system a little bit for people where people can't really handle the vibration or the noise that's kind of happening, and so they'll kind of move on to the next video. So, if you want to keep people engaged, having the ability to understand the different dynamics in which you are recording with your mic is important. Now, the lavalier clip, I mean, that's usually attached to, up here, close to the mouth, close to the neck, close somewhere on the shirt. Um, and that's because again, that's a little bit more self prescribed um, audio device. It really is picking up just who you are, what you're saying. It's not picking up any background whatsoever. So it needs to be as close to you as possible, but not too close because again, it's like a condenser. So it's picking up every single detail, but it doesn't need all that detail. So it's interesting that it's kind of like a balance between the dynamic and the condenser. Um, and I'm assuming that's probably why they made it. And that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so wrapping up at least on just like your actual things that you're using, um, think about your environment. Think about the environment that you're in, and you really want to create an ideal recording environment that is quiet, first and foremost. I really can't stress the importance of having a quiet environment because having a smaller room recording in is going to really help. Choosing certain types of furniture around you are really going to help. Having softer furniture, again, having a smaller room so that you have minimal echoes, and having softer things around you, again, are going to reduce those echoes. So sometimes you can even add, a little blanket on the wall. You can hang up a little blanket. You can go in a closet. I've recorded many podcasts in closets. I used to actually be a rapper. Not many people know that, but I used to be a rapper and I used to record songs in a closet, and a lot of people do. And then I've recorded some voiceover work for commercials in closets. So, closets actually are, yeah, if you, I don't want to promote myself too much, but you can't, I go by Swopes on everything. Um, and that's all, that used to be my rapper name. So, yeah, so when I would record in my closet and I'd make sure that there was no background noise. And that's a really difficult thing to do when you are living in New York or Chicago. So sometimes I'll even close my shades, I'll close my blinds, and that really allows me to have a little bit more control over how the audio is being presented in the space. And we have such incredible tools these days, you guys, to really adjust the audio. In Premiere Pro, we have so much audio editing. In Audition, we have so much audio editing. In Premiere, we have, we're getting quite a bit of stuff. It's being worked on, but I just can't stress enough how exciting and able there are to have all these just like easy ways to record anywhere. And I don't know if you guys were watching Adobe Max, but I when I was oh my gosh, I just realized that I have another call coming up, so I need to tell them because I'm late to this because this one was late, so they'll figure that out. But anyway, so when I when I was at Adobe Max, I saw that they were recording the video with the woman outside who had all the wind and everything. And I mean, it's just, I don't know, we've struggled for so long to not have the ability to do these things. And now that we have them, I'm just so enamored and so inspired and never feeling limited in the fact that what a situation may be. Like someone may be like, oh, we can't record here. Well, we can because we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. So anytime, anywhere. Anyway, okay, so again, DIY, soundproofing techniques are important. You can hang some panels. There's some things, for example, there's this thing, maybe you see it on the bottom right here, this little puffy kind of thing. There's this kind of pattern that's out there in certain recording rooms, and that is really great for soundproofing. And it is great because it just is a great natural sound absorber, apparently. And it works. I've seen it in many recording studios. You can buy it on Amazon, you can get it online, and you can just kind of place it on your walls if you don't want to do the blanket or curtain method. And it helps with getting your sound to perfection. Um, what else? So let's talk about really quickly some recording things that, again, that we were talking about that potentially are problematic uh, to our experiences. Now, today you saw some things that I was experiencing. I don't really know what was happening. I checked so much stuff. I was like, "It's the input device, it's the levels, it's the thing," because I'm connected to this blue mic right here, and this blue mic, I have to go into my computer and I have to be able to make sure that that's the input even of, a Discord. And I think even, I will say, to be honest, I don't even know if my mic is connected right now. I think I'm actually, it says the studio display microphone. Because when I logged again, I was like, I don't want to take any risks. I might just be talking through my computer. I have no idea. I don't even know what's going on. Anyway, and that's the irony of the input. We have to know. We have to figure it out. And I'm not even sure. Um, Anyway, so make sure that you're aware of what the input settings are on your computer. Check that. Usually it'll say like the name of the mic that you have, and you'll be able to make sure and confirm that. And then also thinking about the input levels as well. Checking the sound volume. It's different on each computer. It's different on every laptop. Just making sure that you're understanding the different levels in which those things are, being chosen. Because sometimes I've seen people's stuff and their volumes all the way up, and that means that like when you're talking in here, like it's being blasted into people's like um, on their computers when you're on Zoom and things like that, or if you're recording. Some people just don't know. So make sure you check your levels and your inputs on your computer where your actual device is connected, and that's usually through your sound settings. It's usually through, your audio settings. Now, let's talk a little bit about, because I need to wrap it up a little bit because I do have another thing I have to get to. But let me tell you this, guys. It's not because I'm doing this alone and it's my first time. We did have a little bit of tech issues at the jump. I do apologize that this isn't the best it could be because I am rushing through it and there's so much going on. So I appreciate you. But um, I want to say all of that again to thank you. But okay, so let me go ahead and just talk really quickly about a few things that are common challenges. And then I'm going to show you really quickly also, the best practices in Adobe Express in which I would create some content. And then also I will show you my quick tip in Audition so that you don't have to have and worry about all those little pop filters that I was talking about. Because we have this really cool thing where if you're like popping like me, and sometimes, especially if your mouth's a little dry, which potentially it could be sometimes we have these little like clicks and things like that. I'm going to teach you how to get rid of that. So, quickly, speaking of those and all that kind of stuff, now the issue is that we've got these things called plosives. Those are pops when you hear P and B's caused by bursts of air hitting the microphone. That's by saying certain things, right? And uh, hold on one second. I just need to type something to my colleague. Okay. Okay, so she's asking me like, are you joining? I'm like, I am on a Discord. Okay, so we've got plosives again, where we are bursting air into the mic. We don't want to do that. And then we've got these things called sibilances. I don't know if you've ever heard of a sibilance, but it is the hissing sound or kind of like a sound in the background of a recording. See, she might come in the recording and just triple check that I'm telling the truth. Anyway, she should come and join. Okay, and then also thinking about inconsistent audio levels. So we were talking about making sure that your audio input is correct. Check your audio input. Check making sure that the volume and all those different things are coming in correctly. Now let's talk about, now let's not go to Q&A yet because we can't. So let's go into Adobe Express, you guys. We are talking about animate from audio. Yes, we are. We talked about it a lot last time. And animate from audio is my favorite. I can't help but just be enamored with it every time I talk about it because it's just my favorite thing. How can you be mad at these little characters? Now, it's really cool. This is how you find animate from audio. You're on the home page here. You go to view all, check out where we've got all of our great uh, uh, quick actions. And then you'll see we have all these amazing characters. Got, wow, we've got a lot more. We actually are adding a lot all the time. And so here you can kind of choose your character. And I like the new lips one because this one allows us to kind of add our own background if we feel like it, and then just add the lips to it, and then you can actually record. We have the ability to enhance our speech as well, and that in turn will be really helpful because it makes all the recordings, if your sound is kind of off, you've got, you know, a loud background, all that kind of stuff, this will be a great enabler to help you record in a professional studio. And then again, you can choose the size. I'd probably choose a different character if I'm really about this right now. Let's go with Slothy. Cute, cute. And then you could click record or you can browse and upload your own. Now, I'm not going to go into that because we talked about that last time. And that was one of our challenges, right? So let me just really quickly show you what I want you to do because I'm just going to go ahead, go to my desktop. Let's go up here. I'm going to drag in a content. I'm creating new, original aspect ratio. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is me chilling. All right. And I'm a big fan of right now creating content where I am just relaxing because that's sounds like the best possible thing we could ever do in our life. Now, I'm just going to do a quick little highlight, do a shadow, contrast-ish, make it a little brighter. And you can see it can kind of lift up the colors. Amazing. Now, I am also going to really quickly, I'm going to really quickly show you how I can drag in a new audio, but that means I'm going to go ahead and switch this. So let me switch this to Audition really quick. Now you'll see this video, what I've done, are just relaxing, and there's a loud background to it too, by the way. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm just going to click that and click mute first of all, so we don't have to hear all that loud background noise. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch this, change window to Adobe Audition. Oh yeah. Now don't tell anybody I was showing you this, even though this is recorded and it's going to be everywhere. Now, we're in Audition, you guys. I don't know if you've ever opened Audition. If you have Creative Cloud, download it. Get in there. Check it out. And right now, I'm going to do file, I'm going to do new audio file, and I'm just going to do a little relaxing. Now, I have no idea what any of this stuff means. I'm not worried about it because every recording I've done so far has been totally fine. Now, I have recorded a new soundtrack and or audio file really. And now on the bottom you'll see there's like record, there's like play, all this good stuff. And on the left here, you'll see this effect. It's called declicker. Okay, declicker. You guys, this is the one. Okay, so let me just record my audio really quickly. And this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys can hear, but you'll see how this is happening. Okay, so I'm gonna record this really quick. Finding joy in these simple moments because the right tools give me time for what truly matters. Okay, so now I've recorded, and if I play this back, finding joy in these simple moments because the right tools give me time for what truly matters. Okay, so I mean, it's not the worst recording. It does sound like a little like I can hear I can kind of hear joy in these simple moments because some clicking a little bit of my voice. And so what I'm gonna do is use the declicker. Now I'm gonna go over here and click declicker, and I'm gonna click scan, and then you'll see that it's like picked up all this stuff. That means it's actually picking up where my voice is like there's maybe like kind of like or clicking or anything. I have no idea what it's found, but it's found something. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click repair all. And now it's repaired them to the extent that it feels like it did. And if I play it back, I don't know again if you can hear this all the way. I hope you can. Finding joy in these simple moments because the right tools give me time for what truly matters. Yeah, it just, if you were over here and you can hear this as loud as I could and as loud as I hope you can, it's very, very clear. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to export this. I'm going to save it um, on my desktop, and then I'm press OK. Now let's go back into Adobe Express. Go back, go back. Okay, we're cool. Now we're back in Express, and now what I'm going to do is go back to media, and I'm going to go to audio, and then I'm going to upload from device. I'm going to go back to my desktop. Hope you didn't see all my private work. Okay, so let's go into now. You'll see finding joy in these simple moments because the right tools give me time for what truly matters. Perfect. Okay, so I've got that audio in there, but I really would like to actually show layer timing, go back in there. And sometimes I think that it's really important to also consider like the timing in which your words are presented. Oh, questions. How would you go about background noise if there to be a time? Oh, if there is time to answer. I can just answer this right now. Um, if there is background noise, I am assuming that there are many other options in Audition that will assist you as well. And what those are, I do not know exactly right now, but I know that there's tons of amazing uh, audio things, but I can drop some more links when I'm not in a chaotic rush. But that there's definitely yeah, as Miss 902 says, there's tons of options. But anyway, so to wrap it up really quickly, I'm just gonna show you what I really enjoy about certain voiceovers is the timing. I think timing is really, really important. Finding joy in these simple moments. Okay, so after I say finding joy in simple moments, and then I may do like a little cut or split, and then kind of give it like a little room to breathe. Finding joy in these simple moments because the right tools give me time. And then I'll probably add some background music because the right tools give me time for what truly matters. And sometimes I may add it to the end just so it like kind of like ends there on a highlight. And then there's some relaxing audio over here. I like this jazzy one. audio can't be added at this time. Okay, well, you guys, you've caught me in a bind. But anyway, okay, so all to say, okay. I would love to see um a project from you guys, at least a challenge. And I hope I've set it up and started it. You can create some text to image if you don't feel comfortable recording yourself or creating a very, mundane moment of anything that you're really doing. And then adding a recording of yourself or with a quote or something or some realization. And this in itself is in promotion of Adobe Express's scheduler, which I put over it, relaxing while Adobe Express handles my schedule. And then I have this kind of, voiceover over it that's kind of talking about, um, my kind of experience in relaxing with that. And it's a good piece of content because we're partnering, or I'm partnering with Adobe Express on that. We're doing a collaboration post, and we'll see how it goes. And when you see it live, like it and comment on it and tell me you saw me put it together right here because we did this together. Because this is an actual post that's going out in a couple of days. So um, I'm excited. But anyways, okay, so again, my apologies, you guys, on such a rushed, chaotic episode. This time around, I really want you to just understand the importance of, um, reflecting on how important your recording devices are, being in a quiet place, and not just having to do that, but realizing also that we have all these amazing options from Adobe where you don't necessarily have to be in those perfect moments to start, but those things give us a little bit more confidence to be in our own private space, to feel confident without other people's judgment, which we all feel like we do. I saw a couple comments from people talking about how, some people say our voices, some people's like that, or even we say our voices like something. But, I think the better you can muffle it out and make sure that you're the only person who hears you. You have a quiet, safe space, and you have a really confident, kind of feeling in the way that you're recording, the better. Um, and then please, if you would like feedback from me on any of the content that you're creating or any of the challenges that you'll be coming up against when creating these, I'm happy to review, give you feedback, and support on any front. So thank you again for hanging out, you guys. Thank you so much for being open to getting better at your audio because it's only up from here. I'm telling you, only up from here. And a lot of things are getting better every day for us to really amplify ourselves and our voices. And again, to reiterate, it's about you. It's about your storytelling. It's about your voice. It's about personifying you. Because it doesn't matter how your voice sounds. Like it's about putting the voice to the person and realizing that you're a real human being with emotions and a voice and a reality. And if you can put that more into your work and who you are and what you present to the world, the better. Because the better people are going to care, the better people are going to think about you, the better that people are going to want to support you and what you're trying to accomplish. So let's go. Thanks, guys. Be well. I got to figure out how to